Hi. So welcome to part 4, where we have a look at the Proverbs of Hell, the first 25 verses. So without ado, here we go. In seed time, learn. In harvest, teach. In winter, enjoy. Drive your cart and your plough over the bones of the dead. The road of excess leads to the palace of wisdom. Prudence is a rich, ugly old maid, courted by incapacity. He who desires but acts not breeds pestilence. The cutworm forgives the plough. Dip him in the river who loves water. A fool sees not the same tree that a wise man sees. He whose face gives no light shall never become a star. Eternity is in love with the productions of time. The busy bee has no time for sorrow. The hours of folly are measured by the clock, but of wisdom no clock can measure. All wholesome food is caught without a net or a trap. Bring out number, weight, and measure in a year of dearth. No bird soars too high if he soars with his own wings. A dead body revenges not injuries. The most sublime act is to set another before you. If the fool would persist in his folly, he would become wise. Folly is the cloak of knavery. Shame is pride's cloak. So that's the reading. And what I make of it is that there are seasons for everything, which is an old expression. And in seed time, learn; in harvest, teach; in winter, enjoy, I think, is that idea that there are seasons, the right time to be doing a certain thing. And in youth, we certainly will learn, later on in life we can teach, and in the winter we should enjoy the last season of our lives. Draw your cart and your plough over the bones of the dead, I would imagine, seems to be to put your focus on life, and not to have life suffering for the sake of the dead. Get your priorities right, I guess. The road of excess leading to the palace of wisdom is a strange one. So all I can make of it is that what Blake is saying, it's the excessive experience. Try to experience everything, and you will in the end become wise. Prudence is a rich, ugly old maid courted by incapacity. The idea of frigidity, I guess. And of course, Blake had a love for sexuality and sexual expression, so he hated that idea of something that should be so full of life to be deadened by usually by morality and the church, according to Blake. He who desires but acts not breeds pestilence, I would guess, is about repression. That you're actually breeding something horrible. It's around you like a cloud, and eventually it's going to take its toll on you like a disease would. The cutworm forgives the plough, I think, it's about the worm knowing its place. And I suppose we could take the hint from it that in time we have to go too, and we shouldn't be resentful about it. Dip him in the river who loves water. Oh, well, seems to be a kindness. If anybody knows more about that, Ben, please do tell. So, a fool sees not the same tree that a wise man sees. And I guess that's all about perception. Some of us might see a tree as a beautiful living organism, and some of us might see it as something that blocks sunlight. So, you take your pick there. What's next? Eternity is in love with the productions of time. Well, I guess it's all these things that that give us eternity in the end and make eternity whatever it may be. The busy bee has no time for sorrow, I guess is self-explanatory. The hours of folly are measured by the clock, but of wisdom no clock can measure. Well, I guess wisdom is on a higher level, and it lasts more. It has a sense of eternity to it. All wholesome food is caught without a net or a trap. Well, I guess it's something that we should look into more nowadays, as our eating habits are just another reason for the problems that we're having in this world. Bring out number, weight, and measure in a year of dearth, and I think it means to pull out all the stops. And when you need something, use it, and don't keep it for another year when you may not use it. No bird soars too high if he soars with his own wings. And this is because Blake really believed that laws were oppressive if they treated everybody the same. So that's why he was saying if you soar with your own wings, you can't go too high. A dead body revenge is not injuries. I guess is self-explanatory again. The most sublime act is to set another before you, and this in its own way it is I guess like the basis of Christianity and all and other religions, that this is what you would do. If the fool would persist in his folly, he would become wise. I think is when we learn from experience. If our own wisdom won't help us to avoid always knocking our head against a brick wall, well then perhaps experience will do it. Reminds me a little of Einstein, where he said, if we keep on trying to solve a problem by using the same methods that have always failed, well, that's a kind of a definition of insanity. Folly is the cloak of knavery, and shame is pride's cloak. At first sight, I thought, well, is that right, or should it be the other way around? Knavery is the cloak of folly. Shame is pride's cloak. Perhaps what he means then is that if you do live like a knave, that you will end up cloaked with folly. And if you do live in pride, you'll end up cloaked in shame. And I'm not sure about that, so if you have any better idea, please do tell. Okay, so that's it for the moment. Thank you very much, and bye for now.